I'm Karen Varga with CEAg World Greenhouse Produce, an innovative brand that engages with the rapidly expanding global greenhouse produce industry through a variety of platforms. Our mission is to educate and connect greenhouse produce growers and industry allies to help them better understand and sustainably advance the global food industry. I'm really excited. Today's episode of CEAg World will be with Stacia Lewis. Stacia is a grower at Eden Green Technology, which is a Texas-based hydroponic greenhouse operation that uses vertical farming systems, and they produce lettuces, salad greens, herbs, and cooking greens. Stacia's expertise lies in optimizing crop scheduling for maximum yield and quality, selecting the most suitable cultivars for greenhouse growing, and implementing sustainable agricultural practices to minimize environmental impact. Now, Stacia is also passionate about promoting diversity and inclusivity within the agricultural community, but we're going to cover that in a later video. Stacia, welcome to CEAg Talks.
Hey, it's so great to see you again and to talk today.
Yeah, likewise. So you've had a pretty diverse set of experiences leading up to you becoming a grower at Eden Green Technology. Can you tell me a little bit about where you came from and how you ended up where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I'm Stacia Lewis. I am from rural Texas. And when I say rural, I mean the town where I graduated high school from has like less than 400 people. As you probably can tell, the options for careers are pretty limited. So right out of high school, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. I grew up in and around a lot of traditional agriculture. So it's safe to say that I never saw myself working in any type of ag. In the few years after high school, I worked a few different jobs. Namely, I was managing a Starbucks before I found Eden Green. It was nice, it was great, but I definitely wanted to do something more and something that I truly had a passion for. And like a lot of younger people nowadays, sustainability was always something that was on my mind and something that I kind of strived for in my personal life. So when I discovered Eden Green and the world of CEA, it was like coming home, I guess, like something that I grew up around in a different way, in a way that's, a little bit better for the earth. So as soon as I found the job listing for Eden Green, I knew that that is where I needed to be.
And so my understanding is you didn't have a background in agriculture, or at least like as you said, you weren't really looking to go into agriculture. So where did you start and where did you end up?
Yeah, of course. When I started at Eden Green, I was at an entry level position. I was a production tech, meaning that I spent most of my days transplanting and harvesting and doing a lot of the crop turnover. Past that, I moved more into the growth side and I was doing all of the seeding for the company at the time. Um, Past that, I grew into an assistant grower role. So then I was doing a lot of data collection, more of the labor intensive parts of the grow side of things, mixing newts, um, data collection, I'll say again, because there was a lot of that. But after a couple of years of doing that, I finally worked my way up to being a grower.
And what does your day-to-day look like now?
Yeah, so I spend about 30% of my time in the greenhouse looking at plants, making sure everything's as it should be. And if not, kind of creating a plan with my team to get it back to where it needs to be. The Eden Green grower structure is that we have a team of specialized people. So my specialization, as you mentioned earlier, is crop scheduling. I create the schedule for our greenhouse, both our lettuce and our herbs and all of the miscellaneous things that we grow. So that is a big part of my day to day. But even though all of our growers are specialized, we do still work together as a team to make changes to our systems to ensure a habitable and good environment for our plants. So that involves computer coding, looking at historical data, and making changes to our programs.
Wow. And what do you find most fulfilling about your job now?
That's actually a great question, and I love answering this. As I mentioned earlier, I am from rural Texas, and in rural areas, there are often low income communities and food deserts. So with the 388 people from the town where I graduated high school, there are only two businesses. There is a bar and a gas station. There's no grocery store. So, you know, when you're in kind of a rural area away from the city, oftentimes healthy food is not only spatially unavailable, but when you're feeding an entire family, you're often prioritizing filling foods, which often isn't things like greens. So for me, the most fulfilling thing is knowing that at the end of the day, all of the inputs that I'm doing are going towards the effort of a large group of people to ensure that lower income communities and all communities have access to clean and healthy food. And it's very fulfilling knowing that I'm just one puzzle piece in a huge industry trying to solve a lot of those issues and getting healthy food to people who oftentimes struggle with that. So
I can imagine that's got to feel amazing to be part of the solution.
mhm, absolutely. You know, even when things get tough, I know that that's what I'm doing. So it's worth every second. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I see myself doing it forever. So
Well, speaking of the future, where do you see the controlled environment agriculture industry going in the next 5 or 10 years?
yeah, so I know that we've all seen there's been some up and downs in the past few years, but most recently, I have been seeing CEA as an industry get more widespread media attention. I think the industry as a whole is becoming more visible to the everyday consumer that previously might have, similar to me before working at Eat and Green, not really know that greenhouse growing is a thing. And in addition to becoming more visible to the typical eye, I'm seeing a lot of companies, including mine, open up more greenhouses. So I am definitely seeing a up in the next few years. And I think that my hope is that we can collaborate more as an industry to not only learn from each other's mistakes, but also thrive in each other's successes and really get the name CEA out there for people to know that there are people working to solve a lot of the issues that we have right now in our food industry.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's music to our ears over here at the CEAg world. So Stacia, thanks so much for joining me on CEAg Talks today. I'm looking forward to speaking with you again and hearing more of your thoughts about diversity and inclusivity in the CEA industry.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.